Would you like to make a Thai green curry that's restaurant quality with very, very little fuss? I'm going to show you how it's done. This is from my new book, The Curry Guy Slow Cooker, and let's get started. So as you can see, I've got all my ingredients there ready. I recommend you do the same. It's a lot easier if you know where everything is. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of coconut oil to this. I've got it on searing mode right now. You could do this in a pan if you need to. If you don't have a searing mode on your slow cooker, just going to add that, let it melt. And then I've got some homemade curry paste, green curry paste. I've got a link down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see a link below on how I make this. You can watch that video too. I'm going to go ahead and add this. And it's really nice to have on hand because it does freeze very well. I'm just going to fry this for a little bit. Now I just want to point this out while I'm doing this. You can't just use a normal, like a curry paste that you purchase at the shop. You will get better results though if you do make your own. There's just so much that goes into this paste and it's really worth doing. So if you use one off the shelf, you probably want to add maybe 2-3 tablespoons and top it up if you need to. All right, to that I'm going to add some chicken. I'll give that a good stir as well. Like I say, this can all be done in a pan. If you are really in a rush and you just want to take advantage of having a slow cooker that does all the work, you can just throw everything in and let it do its job. But I do recommend searing this off, just kind of cooking out the rawness, and you'll get a little bit better curry at the end. Okay, so that's all I'm really needing to do right now. I'm just gonna, it's kind of sizzling there, smelling very, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and add some vegetables. Here I got some monge too, I got some baby courgettes. You could add whatever you like. When it's a sturdy vegetable like these, go ahead and add it right now. If it's something that's softer, that's gonna maybe overcook, you can add that later, just maybe like 2 hours into the cook or right at the end of cooking, add it then, and just keep it. It'll keep it more crispy or whatever texture you're going for. Kind of time it out like that. But I'm going to just cook this for a couple hours, and I know that the vegetables will be just fine when I've done that. To this, I'm going to add some thick coconut milk. That's 400 milliliters of coconut milk. And usually I'd add a little bit of stock to my green curry, but that's not necessary with this because the chicken and the vegetables and everything, they're all going to give away some moisture. And also when you're cooking in that environment, that closed environment, it just isn't necessary because it'll produce chicken stock as it cooks. So that's it. That's all I have to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and put this lid on, and I'm going to cook it on high for about 2, maybe 3 hours. If you're going away for the day and you just want to come back to a really nice meal and you're away for 6 to 8 hours, put it on low, it'll be fine. But we'll let this go ahead and cook, and we'll come and I'll show you what it looks like in a few hours. All right, so this has been cooking, slow cooking for the last 3 hours. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. Give this a stir. Everything looks like it's cooked to perfection. The vegetables look nice and, oh yeah, look at that. All right. I'm gonna add a tablespoon or 2 of fish sauce. I'm gonna give it a try. You always wanna be trying these things when you are cooking them because you can always fix them. You make them more sweet, more spicy, whatever you wanna do. I actually think that needs a little bit more fish sauce. So I didn't add any salt to this. It's the fish sauce that's giving it the savory flavor. Try another spoon here. That is really good. You're gonna like this one. Thank you very much for watching. I got a lot more videos on the way. Please be sure to subscribe. hit that notification button, and we'll see you next time. Hardly any standing over the hob, no constant stirring, and no compromises on flavor. This slow cooker Thai green curry hits all the spice notes. You're gonna love it. Give it a try. So then, would you like to see how I made that Thai green paste that I used in the Thai green curry? I'll show you how it's done here. Okay, so we're gonna start this off now by toasting some cumin seeds and some coriander seeds. And all we're doing here is we're just trying to move them around in the pan over the heat to toast them, to bring out the natural oils that are inside. And it doesn't take long, it takes about a minute or so. You really just need them to be warm to the touch and beginning to turn fragrant, which they already are right now. Smelling quite nice. I'll just check that with the bottom of my hand. They're nice and toasty and they smell nice too. So I'm gonna take this off the heat and I'll pour it in my blender here. Now we're gonna go through what ingredients are in this. And I do want to point out that I've got a pestle mortar here, which I'm not going to use today, because the traditional way of making a Thai green paste or any kind of Thai paste is to pound it. And by pounding it, you're pounding those juices out of the ingredients, and it does make a difference, but it also takes about an hour. So most people don't do that. Even in Thailand, they don't do that. It takes a long time to pound a paste together, but it's worth doing if you have the time to do it. Today, I'm gonna do it all in my blender. And I've got here some shallots, a couple of shallots. All of the ingredients are down below in the description. I got about 15 bird's eye chilies there. Quite a lot. And that again, if you don't like really spicy curries, use less, or even maybe even put in some bell pepper or something like that, some green bell pepper. Now I've got some about 12 cloves of garlic there as well. And then some lemongrass. And the lemongrass is just, it really does bring the flavor out. It is so nice in this paste. And then here I've got some chopped up galangal. I'm just gonna put that in there as well. And galangal is this. It looks very much like ginger. It tastes different to the ginger though. It's more of a, it's just a, it's something you've really got to taste to understand, but it is absolutely gorgeous. If you can't find galangal, you can use ginger, but it's just not the same. Here I've got a few lime leaves. I'm just gonna put those in there. I'm gonna add a nice lime flavor to it, along with this lime peel that I've done there. And we have some paste, some shrimp paste. You don't want to use a lot of that because it's very, very strong. And then here I got some basil stems and also some coriander stems. We're just going to add all those in there as well. And just a touch of white pepper. I use about a teaspoon. And we're just going to add enough water to help this blend. You really don't, depending on the size of your blender and the strength of your blender, you probably don't need much. So we're just gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here, and I'm gonna be able to make a curry paste in about a minute, which would normally take an hour in a pestle and mortar. So here we go. Okay, now because I've blended this, it's probably going to be a little bit thinner than if I were just to put it into a pestle mortar, add a little bit of water, but as you can see, it's really quite thick. And there we have it. That is enough paste for one curry to serve 4 people. And as you can see, I made it in minutes. It's very easy. And just the aroma in this room right now, it's incredible. It's just all those ingredients together. Spicy, it's sweet, it's sour, it's everything. It's gorgeous. So I hope you do give it a try soon, and see you next time. Homemade green curry paste. It's so much better than anything you can purchase. You can make it in minutes. Give it a try. It will take your curries up to the next level, I promise.